Happy lunch hour, guys. Well, here it is. It is my last video for the first half of 2023. It's the last day of June, so 6 months is over. And so we can kind of take a look at what's going on. We've all heard many stories about Joe Biden. The economy's great. I've created more jobs than any other president. Look at how I've brought down inflation, all this spin, right? All this bullshit, crap that nobody believes. So let's take a look at something. And I've got a question for you. How safe are you? How safe is your job? How safe is your income, wherever it's coming from? I mean, maybe it is from a job. Maybe it's from Social Security. Maybe it's from a pension plan. Maybe it's from investments, whatever it would be, somehow, however you're making your money. How safe is it? Can you count on it for next year? Can you count on it for the rest of this year? According to Joe, hey, we're on easy street. Everything's great. According to their numbers, we're not. Okay? I'm going to give you a few bits and pieces of information here. So here we are at the end of the first half of the first year, or end of the first half of this year. Inflation, according to them, is up 4% since last year. If you take out food and energy, inflation is up 5.3% since last year. And I will ask the question that I have asked many times. Have you got a 5.3% pay raise? Remember me, I might get a 3% pay raise. That was good. Except when inflation takes out more than that, that means I have less money than I did previous year. Okay. So here's an interesting part. GDP numbers came out this week, and we have increased the United States gross domestic product, collection of all goods and services, basically any money changing hands for anything. We have increased our GDP from last year of 2%. You think that's good, right? Sure. GDP going up is good. Okay. It means we're not in contraction, which is good. The problem is when inflation is running, pick a number, either 4 or 5.3%. That means even though we're producing more money, more goods and services, it's costing us even more to do it. So that means the people have less ability to buy those goods or services, right? So where is this all happening? Who is the drag on the economy? You hear Gavin Newsom all the time. California would be the 8th largest economy in the world if we were an independent state. It's like the other day, California saying, Newsom coming out and saying, red states take more federal money than blue states, yada, da, da, da. And when you actually look at it, California, just the one state, takes twice as much money as any other state in federal aid. Okay. 46 some odd billion. I think Texas was second at like 21, somewhere thereabouts in federal aid. So you love how they manipulate those numbers. I want you to look at something. Okay. This is who is increasing the country GDP, who's responsible for the country making more product, and who's a drag on it. We hear all the time, many, from the Democrats, like I just said about Newsom. Well, the Democrat states are the ones making all the stuff, and the red states are the one taking all this. Guess what? Not true. Okay. Look at this chart. This is the effect of the GDP. Florida, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas have now surpassed Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, D.C., Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York combined Okay, so you have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 states, because 2 Carolinas. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So those 6 states are now combined producing more than the other 12 liberal states are. Remind me again who's contributing to the growth of this country and who's sucking it dry. Okay. Again, this goes back to what I've said. I'm more than willing to see balkanization in this country. I'd love to see it. Chop off New England. Y'all can go to the communist hellhole that you want to be. Chop off the West Coast. Y'all can elect Gavin Newsom as your president, and you can have either a whole bunch of people speaking Spanish who can't vote or a whole bunch of people who think they're owed $5 million. Nobody will work, but you can have all that. Okay? That's that. So let's look at one other one. All right. Again, Joe talking about how great his economy is. Let's take a look at how the GDP is doing. Okay. Let's look at this chart. Q4 coming out of 2021, everybody got back to work. Okay. We were coming to the end of COVID. Things, you know what? We'll open businesses again. Guess what? We can do stuff. Okay. We did that. Boom, collapse. Okay. That was the end of that. Then all of a sudden we get a little bit of recovery in the third quarter of 2022. Took us a year. And Joe's like, rah, rah, look at this. GDP is back over 3%. And then it's down to 2.5%. And now it's down to 2%. And where are we going next? All right. This is where they say, we're not in a recession. We still have a positive GDP. Yeah, we do. Except the trend is like this. Think about anything. Downhill. How safe is your job? I want to give you this. This is an email I got yesterday, okay, from one of y'all here in Tennessee. Now, mind you, I just told you, Tennessee is increasing, one of the states that's helping increase the GDP, while the New England states are a drag on our economy. I'm going to read this to you. One of this county's biggest industrial plants, Shaw Industries, announced 2 days ago that they were shutting down completely on August 9th. Mastercraft Boats in Loudon has laid off 250 people, and they're saying they won't, when they go back in late July, if they go back, they're not sure how long the doors will be open, or another round of layoffs will begin. Malibu Boats has done the same. Now Rubbermaid has announced they're having to make cutbacks too. Okay. Now, mind you, these are businesses in a state that is contributing to the growth of the GDP, laying off people, right? Let me give you one other little fact, because the one thing that Democrats hate are facts, okay? Spin is great. We'll take all this information, twist it around like a pretzel, and make it look good for us. Remember Joe? I've created 1.7 million jobs in the country this year. No, Joe, you've never created a job in your life. Okay. But I want to give you this figure. Talking about layoffs in Tennessee. From the start of this year, from January 1st, 2023 through the end of May, companies across the country have laid off 417,500 people. It's a lot of people. Okay? That's twice the size of Knoxville. Giving you that as an idea. So if you put it into an idea, that's the size of, I don't know, Wyoming and then some. Okay. You want to know how much that's an increase in layoffs in the first 6 months of a year? That's 315%, more than 3 times as many, guys, from 2022 for the first 5 months of the year. Joe's economy, no matter what MSNBC or CNN or any of the other talking heads want to tell you, Joe's economy is a train wreck at high speed, on a bridge to nowhere, going 90 miles an hour, hitting a brick wall. That's Joe's economy. We heard yesterday about Joe being pissed about affirmative action being destroyed. Joe's destroying the economy. Is there anything in the United States that Joe hasn't destroyed? Their answer all the time of, well, Joe's got inflation down. Joe, you were the one that drove inflation up in the first place. You can't create a problem and then take credit for fixing it. Okay. And you still haven't got it down to the point where it should be, where it was, oh, I don't know, when Trump left office. Okay. I've got gas prices down. Yeah. From the problem you created, and now you brought them down. But again, gas prices still aren't where they were when Trump left office. Unemployment is down. Well, yeah, when you compare it to, gee, nobody can go to work because we shut down the entire economy. Joe, the whole world is onto your game. Your globalist dictatorial euphoria. Okay. We all get it. You want us all to suffer. You posted something yesterday in a ad, we only have so much more time to continue what we're doing. And it's a pretty picture of you and Dr. Jill. Okay. Yeah. Trust me. We have a plan too, Joe. That's to boot your ass out, put you and the bimbo that is your wife on a rubber raft out in the middle of the Atlantic with nothing but a knife and let you reap what you sow. Well out.